we will be here until things are righted.
Rallies across the country put on by a group called the Canadian Frontline Nurses put hospitals and police on the ready. Roughly 100 anti-mandatory vaccine protesters came out to the intersection right in front of Foothills Hospital, but they weren't the only protesters on site. Counter-protesters wearing masks rolled in with a speaker blaring music and a giant sign that read, "We stand with AHS." I spoke with one of them, and while he declined an interview, he said they were there because it's not right to protest outside a hospital. The group's presence created a lot of tension.
Hey, check.
Heated arguments between the two sides erupted several times, with one encounter coming close to blows. Police stepped in and 2 of the counter-protesters were taken away. This AHS worker was very frustrated by the loud music of those counter-protesters, but not the anti-vaccine protesters.
There are many people that don't agree with the certain mandated vaccines that are out there, and everybody has their right to their opinion. But there are sick people in the hospital. We are trying to do our jobs, and this is making it very, very difficult.
There was some concern about patient safety, but there's people dressed here in white, and they are volunteers to help ensure that patients have safe access across the road to their appointments at Foothills.
We just heard reports from last time around, especially in Edmonton, that there were a lot of harassment incidents going on, so we just wanted to make sure that there was an option for people to avoid that sort of thing and feel safe.
Police were on hand all afternoon, managing traffic at the intersection, ensuring that ambulances and patients could easily get on site. Before the protest began, the Premier came out with a statement saying that although Canadians have the right to peaceful protest, today's protest must in no way obstruct the important operations of our hospitals, including the arrival and departure of emergency vehicles and workers. In Alberta, local law enforcement is fully empowered to enforce the law in a timely fashion, including the potential use of the Critical Infrastructure Defence Act. Now, that act came into effect in June of 2020 and was brought in while protests of railways were ongoing. But it appears at this protest, that was not needed. In Calgary, Tara Overholt, City News.